The You're Gonna Love This or Not podcast contains harsh language and may not be suitable for younger listeners.
Why would you answer this call? Why would you answer this call? Why?
Hello. Hey man, are you coming to movie night this month?
Well, the last two movies have been pretty good.
Yeah, well...
So, I'm assuming this one's gonna be a shitstorm.
Maybe. I don't even know if we're gonna watch a movie. There's some really weird shit going down at my house.
Really? What?
Yeah, stuff's moving around. There's sticky stuff coming down the wall. It's really weird. I mean, more sticky stuff on the walls than usual.
Do you have ghosts?
I don't know.
You know what we should do?
What?
Who should we call? Begins with a G. They don't want to cross the streams. Ghostbusters?
Oh, I was going to talk about using public urinals, but sure. No,
okay.
They would work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you want to just get Ghostbusters over here for this first and see if we can solve a problem or what?
Well, we'll see what happens, but, oh man, this movie this month, it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You've shown me some real shit, so I can't imagine it being worse than any other shit you've shown me.
Oh no, this movie is superbly fun to watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Which the translation is superbly shitty.
There are people in this movie that have been nominated for Emmys 15 times.
I don't believe it.
You'll love it.
I doubt it.
Just come on over.
Okay.
In this month's episode of You're Gonna Love This or Not, Matt subjects not only Josh, but members of the Circle City Ghostbusters to the horror comedy Spookies. Will the Ghostbusters give him a discount for showing a good film? Or will they cross the streams and hope a total protonic reversal will get them out of the SFP? Let's listen to the trailer, which is about as good as the movie, then find out what they thought.
That's weird. No name.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Come on, Megan, it's spooky as hell inside.
Matt, you son of a bitch.
Oh, come on, man. That movie was awesome.
The movie was awful.
The movie was terrific.
Literally the worst thing I've seen to date. Which I thought, after Miami Connection, couldn't be possible. I was like, Miami Connection, that's where we're going to hit the rock bottom. Nope.
I had way more fun watching this movie than any other movie we watched so far.
How you could ever like this piece of shit.
I think a lot of the fun I had with the movie is the fact that Circle City Ghostbusters are here with us tonight.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we had ghosts in the basement. They came down and helped us out.
Well, we got rid of them, and then you guys, you said, hey, come watch this movie, and who are we to say no? You offered us free alcohol and pizza.
Exactly. Pizza and booze. It's the ultimate payment. I do not have any money. I'm sorry.
There were ghost cookies, I can attest.
That were made by an adorable child.
That's right. A 5-year-old cooked you ghost cookies, and now he's terrified of you.
Well, we're terrifying people.
All right, so why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? We'll start with Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob Bartlett, Circle City Ghostbusters, and I'm just happy to be here.
I'm Justin Patton with the Circle City Ghostbusters,
And not with us right now is Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, we had a third guy. He got called away. More business.
It happens.
to take
It
care of.
happens.
It's that time of year. It is the Halloween season.
Yeah, had an Uber poltergeist he had to go take care of.
It is October currently.
Yeah. Yeah, mid-October. Halloween. It's spooky. That's right.
Machine going with the.
Hey, with my Bose Eisenstein
If
chiller,
you actually knew where Matt
fog
lived,
really sits in the
it's an
grass.
Amazing display of the Halloween decorations.
I just want to say, I'm the only person I know that still gives full-size candy bars to the kids that come to my house.
That's why I come trick-or-treating his house, dressed as a child.
We got really scared when we came in. We shot a lot of those inflatables. We didn't know exactly what you had called us for.
Yeah, well,
So
these things happen.
We will not be replacing those.
Look, I'll be happy just not to get ectoplasm on me.
It's cool. We'll just duct tape them. It's not a big deal.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm super excited. The Ghostbusters are here. It helped us out. Made the movie
A little less than tolerable, but almost tolerable.
The comedy was great.
Yeah,
that's the best part of
this movie's a real stinker.
I mean, the fact that we just dissected this movie so amazingly well during it was the best part.
Yeah, I
The
hope
stinker
that
was in
carries
the
over
fart
this.
monsters, honestly. Like,
The fart monsters were great. It wasn't exactly accurate to the kind of monsters we see in real life, but boy, it was a good time. There was one that did explode. Like we often explode our monsters.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when you take a hold of Grim Reaper by its sickle and then you throw it to the ground, it explodes. Right?
Yeah, it explodes like a barrel of gunpowder.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty massive.
sure that's the part that Michael Bay directed.
It's if I had a nickel for every time I've seen a Grim Reaper explode,
You'd have like 25 cents. Can we
All
talk
right.
about how the fart monsters? I'm doing air quotes.
Okay.
I do air quotes a lot. So, were apparently only destroyable by water, but yet they used wine to destroy them.
Well, I guess there's-
when wine is not water.
Well,
even though
there's
Jesus
water
Christ
in
say
it,
is.
but still, that scene
Wine
boggles
is
my
literally
mind.
Grapes.
Yeah.
mashed up. There's
So-
no water. It's juice.
That was one of the first scenes they shot for this movie. The very first scene. Well, I don't want to say the very first. One of the first. And what it was, those muck monsters were just covered in brown dye and fake broccoli.
he's making the fart noise. But if you watch this movie, I mean, those monsters, they literally make
Yes,
a
they
fart
are.
noise. And
They
it
are
sounds so
terrifyingly
out of place.
flatulent.
they had the worst case of walking farts I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Second worst for me, pal.
Yeah.
So the story behind this movie is that it was originally a movie called Twisted Souls. Shot the whole thing. It was being edited when the guy that provided all the money pulled it out from underneath them and had somebody else come in and
Pull
shoot a
from
bunch of new
underneath, yeah.
scenes with new people, none of the original cast. And one of the things that the original financier insisted upon was throwing in the fart noises for the muck monsters.
Well, obviously.
This sounds like Sony and Marvel right now. With the Spider-Man movie. I'm going to make a great
You
movie.
mean
and then I'm-
months ago?
If I was going to make a shitty movie, I would insert fart noises into it as well, just to make it shittier.
Well, this guy was loaded with money, would show up on the set and tell people to pull his finger all the time, which I'm not going to say is a bad pastime, but, you know, if you're rich,
that
find
comes
something
through.
else to do.
That comes through in the final
It does come
product.
through.
He also
Okay,
let me see.
what was the budget for this movie, to make the movie?
Unfortunately, I don't know what the budget was because all the budget stuff got screwed up by them basically reshooting another movie on top
The
of
fact
it.
this movie made $17,000, though, worldwide.
That's $17,000 more than I
That's
expect a
just
movie
in
like this to
America.
make.
Yeah, yeah. And nobody knows who the rights belong to these days, so it's not out on DVD or Blu-ray.
And honestly, I mean, think about it. This movie was released back in the 80s, so movie tickets were probably like, what, $3 a piece? And the fact that it made $17,000 means at least 5,000 people went and saw this movie?
I say the movie theater I worked at, $1.05.
Okay, so at least 17,000 people went and saw this movie.
Yeah, probably. Quite a few went. You know, probably most of the people in it. Let's see here.
There was a lot of people in it, in the zombies.
All the zombies, yes.
Yeah. Well, there
It's all
wasn't
their
really.
friends and family.
It was just mostly the same 7 people shot over and over again.
There was a mighty list.
Justin, you looked up the IMDb score, right? What
Correct.
was it?
It was 5.1 out of 10.
5.1. On Rotten Tomatoes, there's no critic score because no critic would have watched this movie.
No.
But among audience, it gets 19%.
Well, that's too high.
And on Letterboxd, which is social media for total movie nerds like Matt Hurt from The Obsessive Viewer, it gets 2.7 stars, higher than half.
Yeah.
It's because I
Not
think
going to get anywhere near that from me.
the only people that would watch this movie and rate it are the people that like this kind of movie, and that is garbage like I like. So there we go.
That's why you like me, because I'm garbage.
No, I like you because you're you, and don't ever change, except maybe be a little less of a butthole.
Can't help it. You bring out the butthole in
It's
me.
a real moment here.
I know.
It's a bromance.
Let's see here. As to cast for this movie, there's only 2 people in this movie that have like more than 2 or 3 credits. First off is Peter Iasillo Jr., who played Rich, the guy with the puppet.
Okay, yeah.
The puppet has
so we
more
have to
credits.
talk about him for a second.
Okay.
The creepy Jeff Dunham.
Because he doesn't only have a puppet, but he's wearing a T-shirt that has his own face on it with him holding his puppet.
Yeah, that's right. He's got one of
And
those
the world's
80s dot
creepiest
matrix
mustache.
printed mall
Tried
shirts.
to be a French mustache, went too long, got creepy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this guy-
But he's in a ton of horror movies.
He looks like Steve Buscemi. I mean, he really does.
He's got kind of buggy eyes, and I can see that. But he's
Steve
probably
Buscemi's
the
a
best
national
actor in
treasure.
this movie. Wouldn't you
That
say?
is a low bar, but yes.
It's a low bar.
Oh no,
yeah.
he's 100 times better than any
The
actor
others
in
are
this movie.
mostly people that he knew from community theater and brought them in with him.
Yeah.
Do you think that he knew them from community theater, or he just like found them on the street and was like, "Hey, I want to be in this movie"? And they're like, "Okay, yeah, I'm not doing anything."
The only other actor that has like some credits is the kid that plays Billy, who's in the movie for what, 3 minutes?
The kid that goes to his own sad, lonely.
The guy that gets,
okay.
that
The
gets
kid that
completely
walks up
buried
to
and
the random
suffocated.
stranger in the middle of the
Oh,
woods.
He gets a decapitated head as a kid
Yeah.
that talks to him.
Exactly. He actually is the dancing footman named Felix in The Princess Diaries 2.
What a credit!
And he has a named part, Charlie, in the Gary Marshall Valentine's Day. So he actually made some money acting.
I don't know if he made money, but
Yeah, there are virtually no reviews for this movie out from when it came out, so I can't really
I
spout
can't
those.
imagine
the
why.
only review would be this piece of shit was so shit that it farted.
Yeah, well, it farted a lot in that scene with the Muckmen. Brendan
But I did
Faulkner
learn how to
and
kill Muckman.
Tom Duran were directors. They've done like some horror movies that were never finished and some second unit work.
Wasn't there a lady in here that was actually a porn actress too?
Eugenie Joseph, the replacement director who shot all the scenes that weren't in the original movie after it got taken away from the original directors. She was an editor from Troma, and I found a site that said she was on camera in some porn movies, but I can't vouch for that.
We'll look into it later.
She did produce a fairly successful Nickelodeon show, I think, but I couldn't tell you what the name of it was.
Oh, good job.
I'm
Way to
pretty
research.
sloshed, I'm not going to lie.
Jeez, do the research, man.
The financier was Michael
You're the boring
Lee.
research guy, so I'm
That's right.
doing all the research.
He had a lot of money, was obsessed with farts, apparently, and had a real issue with being a sexual harasser at some point.
No.
After seeing that,
Allegedly.
Yeah, I can
So this
only
was a Weinstein
imagine.
movie. We were right.
Well, no, that was, what was it, Ghost Fever was the Weinstein movie.
Oh,
We saw a trailer for Ghost Fever, a Ghostbusters ripoff. It was pretty good. Bob Chappelle was
Dave Chappelle's brother.
the replacement cinematographer on this, who became a well-known documentarian
Was he
cinematographer.
the one that got nominated for a bunch of awards.
No. Well, some of his movies were nominated for awards. Stuff like The Fog of War, which is the documentary about Robert McNamara in Vietnam. And
So the Fog of War, is that more about farts?
no. Ken Kelsch, who was the original cinematographer, went on to work on Bad Lieutenant and some other big budget movies. But the real talented people on this movie, I guess you could say.
you need to say talented and then do the air quotes with your fingers. They
Okay.
won't be able to see it, but they won't know.
No,
it's
these
there
guys,
if you do
these
it.
guys were really
Explain it
talented.
to
The
us on the
effects crew.
Yeah,
on
the
this
effects
were
crew was
good.
obviously the effects. The guy getting sucked into the grave was actually pretty decent.
Some of the crew, John Dodds was on the crew. He did lots of latex makeup effects for stuff like Poltergeist 3, Death Becomes Her, The Santa Claus, and maybe you've heard of Ghostbusters 2.
What?
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
Who is it?
John Dodds.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we're friends on Facebook.
He also created the original appliance makeup for the Beauty and the Beast Broadway show.
Ah, well, that's interesting. Glad we
Relevant
learned all
to
this.
our interests there.
After the Muckmen scene was shot, pretty much up first, he got fired and was replaced by a 16-year-old kid named
So
Gabe
they fired
Bartolos.
the most talented person
He made the Muckmen.
on the movie.
They look terrible.
Okay, but who made
Your
the
face looks
Gremlins in that movie? See, those were actually
Yeah,
pretty
who
Like
good.
the other stuff. Okay.
Who fed the
Well,
man went
okay.
to the dark?
So the 16-year-old that took over for him is Gabe Bartolos, who's most famous for creating the original Leprechaun makeup.
I'm the leprechaun.
Jennifer Aspinall, who stepped in after the original person was fired, started at Troma on Toxic Avenger and got 15 Emmy nominations and 1 win for makeup.
There's entirely too much trivia for a movie this terrible.
Yeah, no, he does this every podcast. This
if you look at James Gunn,
a bunch of stupid
he started on Romeo and Juliet and Super, which I'm sure no one knows about Super.
You guys saw, I got lots of pictures of the family with Lloyd Kaufman up on the wall over there.
Right.
And,
Can we talk about other fun stuff?
Okay,
Not about this
Al
movie.
Magliochetti did the practical effects, the stop motion, the animation.
The only good thing in this movie is the effects. That's why we're going to just talk about the effects.
He actually played the role of Lewis. He's the guy that gets sucked into the
Oh
grave.
my God.
And he worked on Waterworld, Star Trek VI, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, The Addams Family, and Terminator 2, and a little movie called Deformed Monsters, also known as The Creeps, which is a movie we discussed earlier. Might be on one of our Halloween slates about a bunch of little people playing Universal monsters. So yeah,
I'm glad Alex
did pretty well. So this movie sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to watch though.
There were parts that were fun to watch. It really slogged quite a bit.
Yeah, like the zombie scene takes forever.
At a certain point, you're like, I get it. You're being chased by zombies. Can
Yeah,
we
and then it
please-
goes for like 8 more minutes.
And then her clothes get ripped off.
But not
she's
all the
wearing a
way.
slip.
Not all the way.
And then she finds a car. Although she's been dead for 70 years, she finds a car and somehow knows how to get into car, knows the car is a way to escape, but can't figure out how to start it.
There's just a random dude parked there alone out of the car. Is he like
And she was
cruising or
running
something?
for miles.
But it wasn't a random dude because really, it was the werecat. who
That's
was in
right.
love with her the
Oh,
entire
you're going to
weird
give away
cat with
all
the
the
hook
secrets.
hand.
Someone might watch this movie.
We're starting at the end because that's the way.
That's how the movie started. The movie opens
Did it?
up with
Did
a
it?
little
Oh, my
grave being all
Yeah,
squiggly.
With that
I
bouncy
think that's
grave.
what makes sense.
Yeah, we've got
to
a
me.
bouncy grave.
with some lots of chains and a
nice
master
slab
lock.
of foam rubber painted gray.
But then
with a
lightning
padlock
hits
on
it later on, and all of a sudden it's like comes back to life.
That's right. It's like a good magic trick where the guy's originally in the basement of the house.
Talk about how the
ends up in the
child
grave.
in this movie in the very beginning somehow.
Are you talking about Billy?
No, the other kid at Ice Pick.
Snowball?
Billy's parents and friends forgot about his birthday.
His
So on his
13th
birthday, he's wandering through the woods
He ran away from
with
home.
that shit in his backpack. I think he's going to murder people.
Yeah, he's got an ice pick, a Zippo lighter, some snowballs because
Like you do.
nutrition. And what we don't know what else is in this bag of wonders. I mean, it could be like a never-ending purse, like Mary Poppins. We don't know.
That's true. He could pull like a full hat stand
But
out
it's a
of there.
good thing he had that ice pick because how else would you kill an all-powerful sorcerer unless you had an ice pick? But wait, he comes back to life.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry.
It's just there's just so much to unpack with this movie.
It's so
Well, I've got to say, it's your standard 80s movie where you've got 40-year-olds playing teenagers.
Yeah, they were definitely not teenagers, not at all.
I don't think that's a standard. I mean, I watched Back to the Future. That's kind of a standard, and I don't think.
That's because Michael J. Fox looks 12 years old his entire life.
Well,
that's true. But, they get stopped by a branch that's like an inch in diameter across the road.
No, can't just run over that.
Yeah, can't just move it out of the way. And it takes 2 people to lift it off and carry it away.
Yeah, and for some reason they were just wandering around smoking weed and drinking and stuff on country roads.
now that's a typical 80s movie.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say, that sounds like Southern
I
Indiana.
think the shockingest thing about this whole movie is in the entire movie there's only one person who smokes cigarettes.
That's pretty odd for
that
a
lady with the
The British
one
lady.
solar pads.
For an 80s movie,
The one
yeah.
British lady is the only person in the
Oh
entire
my God.
movie-
She acts like she's in a Noel Coward play so
Yeah.
hard.
And she smokes cigarettes the entire movie, and no one else in the 80s smoked cigarettes in this thing. And
She
I
got
don't
paid
know
to
what-
sit and smoke cigarettes, and
I
God
have
bless her for
never
it.
seen anyone smoke cigarettes so dramatically in a movie.
No.
It was impressive, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah. Let's see. We've also got in this movie a person attack above land. I'm not quite sure what happened.
That was
with
the Gremlin thing. Look, I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay.
It was
so
like
yeah,
the creature
it's
from Black.
that part's a Gremlins ripoff.
The Blue Lagoon, and then you got like a, I don't know. It's just an amalgam of things.
Yeah, it is a bunch of 80s horror tropes all smashed together. And then we've got the Grim Reaper attacking people.
The Grim Reaper is by far the best thing in the movie.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I
he
think
grabs
they
a hold
just
of his scythe, sickle, whatever you want to call it.
Sickle.
And all of a sudden it starts smoking.
Yeah, it was like burning his hands, and he doesn't even like grab his
then,
hands.
like, he,
He's just like
They throw
I'm
him
going
9 feet
conquer
to the
death.
ground.
We're going way ahead here. First off, the best scene in the movie happens. 2 best scenes because of the Grim Reaper. And the first one is they're locked in a room with him. There's 2 girls and a guy. They're in the room with the Grim Reaper, and to get out of the door, the guy swan dives into the fucking door.
Correct.
That's right.
Breaks it wide open. I mean, he goes through this goddamn door.
I mean,
for sure.
It's
amazing.
I've ran into doors before. They don't break like that.
That's not what doors do.
Because first, because at one point they tried to use a chair against the door, which didn't work. Okay, we talk about the door in the first part of the movie where they tried to hit with all sorts of things.
There's a lot of inconsistencies
They tried to
with
pry it
doors
open, and all of a sudden they could just open it.
Also,
magically.
I don't know. Does he go through hands first or just head first?
I just think it was head first.
I'm pretty sure he goes in top of his head,
I thought it
goes
was
through the door.
Superman style. Like I think that guy was actually Clark Kent.
It is
He
bonkers.
Chris Benoit that door.
Oh, too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah, no, he flying headbutted that.
It was insane. They get out that way. As they're getting out, the Grim Reaper slashes one of the chicks in the leg. Then they get out to the roof where just the pinnacle of the movie.
Oh yeah, I mean the piece de resistance.
He just dives through that motherfucker.
We're forgetting about the Spider Woman though. The
Spider Woman. I'm not
the Spider Woman.
This Asian woman tempts this guy in here.
Yeah,
and then it's like
that's Rich, the guy with the puppet. We haven't even really talked about that.
Rich.
And the movie, I mean, it's. Then there's also the "What are you, some kind of queer?" line in it. I mean, that's a fun one.
I'll be honest. I don't think I heard a single line in this movie.
I didn't hear much of it. Yeah,
that's a part. Well,
I was reading the subtitles just fine, and then you guys turned them off for some reason.
They were like German or Russian or something.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Okay, so the Grim Reaper, they get out onto the roof. They escape onto a roof. They're constantly trying to get back in this house for some reason.
Yeah.
They can't leave the house.
No.
Because they're just not smart enough.
Yeah. Because why jump off the 9-foot
roof? They do get out of
roof?
the house in the beginning.
Oh, that's
they go
right.
to the car, but then somehow no one can find the keys or something.
The car was locked.
Zombies start showing
because
up.
apparently there was so much stuff in the outside too. The car was locked when they go out there.
Gosh, I'm glad you guys paid attention because I sure as shit didn't.
Did they not have keys to the car?
Well, it doesn't matter because they decide instead of running
the
down
guy
the road,
that was
they're going to
Rich,
run back into the house.
Rich, the guy getting munchies, he decided he was going to lock the car because all of his weed money was in there. Oh. And there's somebody out in the middle of the woods.
Strange headcanon for this film.
I was going to say, I've seen this movie 5 times, and you remember way more than me.
I kind of like this film in some ways.
Oh, my God.
Of course.
Okay, so they're on the roof. The Grim Reaper comes out there after them. And then there's one guy. He tries to get the Grim Reaper's scythe away from him. It starts smoking as soon as he touches it for, reasons.
Whatever reason. Because apparently the living...
Mustard gas smoke, too.
They throw the Grim Reaper off the roof, and he fucking explodes.
That's right. Michael Bay style.
Giant explosion.
Like a 55-gallon drum of
you
gasoline.
Would see in a modern comedy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
This is labeled a horror comedy.
It's like the Toons' car.
It's perfect. It's a perfect scene.
I mean, that to me, it was the only part of the movie that was redeeming. The fact that it was so ridiculous. They were like, throw the Grim Reaper, explosion.
I laughed for 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
Solid.
It was crazy pants. It's pretty cuckoo.
I actually did like the spider thing, though, because I don't know why.
I was going to say, the effects in the spider scene are good. The giant spider puppet and
the
that sort of stuff.
Effects
Yeah.
weren't
the vagina, the crowning of the spider
vaginal
was probably my favorite, too.
Yes, the head splitting.
Yeah, so basically, the head splitting of the spider looked much like a toothy vagina.
It was very symbolic.
Yeah, it was crowning.
It was very much there was like a toothy baby coming out, and then we had the whole alien mouth thing coming out to suck him dry, which literally sucked him dry.
Very metaphorical.
Not a sexual innuendo here. Actually sucked his blood out, which was, of course, just basically like play. I think they
had
just
an inflatable him that they sucked the air out of.
It was so bad,
but it didn't suck that much air out of him.
I can't fault some of that stuff for looking bad because they're working with a budget of hundreds.
$12.
Yeah.
And 30 cents.
Yeah. That was the entire budget right there.
What they pulled off with some of this money for the effects was really good.
They must have hired a bunch of film students, like some other movie that we watched. Oh, wait, we can't talk about that movie because it brings up bad memories.
Oh, for you, maybe. I love talking about it. But
which movie is that?
Matt gets really salty when talking about
Cannibal
Miami
the
Connection
Musical.
because he felt like...
Cannibal the Musical is a great movie.
I was talking about Miami Connection.
Oh, that wasn't my film students.
You told me it was.
Those were Taekwondo students.
No, but you said the makeup was done by film students.
Oh, well, probably, yeah.
Yeah,
probably
from
film
college.
students.
Wait, but you said they hired a 16-year-old kid for this movie?
Did.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're hiring friends
And
family
he
for
did
this movie.
terrific. Like some of the stuff he designed.
If I was
the
16 and
puppets
had his talent, I'd probably been in the film biz too.
Yeah.
So.
And he went on to do bigger, better things like Leprechaun.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got.
Leprechaun the Hood was a great movie. So.
No.
All right. The location for this, it was almost entirely shot at the J Estate, which is now a historical landmark, which back then was just
because of this movie.
And where's that located?
It is, actually, if you
that is
read about
actually
it, you'll
true.
find out.
We should
that
have a fact
this-
checker at the end of the
this
podcast.
was
tell us
almost
all things that we
completely
said or not.
saved.
Where was this filmed at, though? Like,
The
where's-
J Estate in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Jay
Upstate-
was a signer of the Constitution, founding father sort of thing. It was a farm that he lived on. And it was going to be demolished and replaced with a bunch of like condos and townhouses and stuff. And
useful.
And then this movie was filmed there, and it saved it
because
of the
it made money
$17,000 budget.
for the people in charge, and it stalled the developer long enough for the Historical Society to buy it. So
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that's a fact.
What?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever
See,
seen.
this movie
That's actually the truth.
This movie did
That
some
is, in
good.
fact,
So
the
this
truth.
movie actually
Yeah.
did save that historical site.
It is now a place you can go visit, see a mansion the way it was back in the early 1800s. And
because of this movie.
This shitty movie
Partially because
did
of this.
something
I'm going,
good.
baby.
We're going.
I'm not going to give
And
up.
when I'm
Yeah.
there, I can.
We're
going to
say this movie saved something.
I am drunk enough to be like, rude.
I mean,
Do they have the board game there that they played? By the way, there's a board game that's a major part of the plot. That
Yeah.
kind of.
the chess.
kind of a Ouija board?
The chess Ouija board.
There's a Ouija board, and then there's a chess game.
Yes.
There's two board games, I guess, going on.
Yes.
Because there's an old man who's playing chess.
He's a
that
sorcerer.
somehow- He's a
Throbbing
sorcerer.
vein.
And he has control over the people in the house somewhat with it.
Yes.
And then there's also a Ouija board. Do they talk
Kind
to
of.
him with it at one point? Like it cuts back-
No.
No, so he possesses.
They don't ever talk to him because
possesses
they don't
the
know he
girl.
exists because he's from a different movie.
Right. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
no.
two
So
different movies put
he
together.
possesses
and
the
it's
girl and then
painfully obvious.
starts talking through a can through her.
It even looks different when they switch between the different cameras, film stock.
They were
whatever.
shooting with different cameras.
Yeah.
It is painfully obvious that it's two different movies.
All right, we got to pause for a second for an ad read here. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to stomp on it, but
We gotta make our ducats somehow.
Yep, that's right. This episode is brought to you by Dos Buses, the only bilingual bus service in the area. Guaranteed to get you away from whatever strange shit is up with your weird new next door neighbors in a hurry. Dial our number, we'll come and get you immediately. Both our buses are standing by. Just remember, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Dos Buses. We're ready to retrieve you.
Our ads
We're
are
ready
never
to
correct.
retrieve. No? Oh, come on.
Somebody's gonna sue.
Ah.
That was actually pretty good, though. I mean,
he does not like this kind of thing.
Yeah, if I had something strange going on in my neighborhood, I would call the Circle City.
Oh, yeah.
should
You
call
guys
us
don't
that.
understand. There's a look on everybody in here
317-93-23-68.
that's just saying to me,
That's
who
my
farted?
actual work number 2.
Hi, everybody. This is Mike. I would just like to point out that Matt told us he had a dream about that ad read, and that's why he had to do it tonight. Thank you. That is all.
Yay, Mike got on the podcast.
I love it when Mike Good jumps in. Oh,
So
God.
during one of the podcasts, Mike started writing things on a whiteboard, and it changed everything. Wow. It made me actually tolerable.
Yeah. Like, last episode was a revelation.
No, it's episode
No,
4.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Mazes and Monsters. And then we watched an amazing rom-com.
Do you have any idea how hard it was to give away that Mazes and Monsters DVD?
Did you finally give it away?
Oh, yes. I gave it away a month or so ago.
That's good.
You know, there's a place where you can give away any DVD. It's called a trash can.
or my
You're a
house.
trash can.
It's a Tom Hanks movie, and
you.
people love it.
I'll take
especially
it.
Josh. Well, I say,
Mazes and Monsters was
I say,
quite good.
2 months
If
ago we
you
gave away
understand-
Mazes and Monsters. Took
If
a
you
little effort.
understand the subplot of Mazes and Monsters, you'll understand how amazing it is. But you have to have Mike in the room with a whiteboard explaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least connect the dots for you. Because, like, you're halfway there, you're living on a prayer, and then Mike comes in, he's like, hey, watch this. And I'm like,
Well, I'm kind of amazed. I see the Extras 3 theatrical cut and then the Extras 3 director's cut. And I would think, who would want to watch this movie twice? But
I
there's
love that
somebody out there that will watch
I'm
it
not
twice.
surprised that it'll be on
You say,
the
I'm that guy.
podcast.
I'm the guy that likes it.
Yeah, they're gonna
This
have
dude has
a
rated
side
Cannibal
by
the
side.
Musical as one of his top 5 films of all
Cannibal
time.
the Musical is a great
Stop
movie.
it.
It is a
You
great
stay on that
movie.
side of the table.
It is a fantastic film.
Fantastic.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker, early days.
Exactly.
You get to kind of see where they came from. It's funny. There's some great stuff in there, and some of the songs are awesome.
They're terrible.
It was the first episode of this podcast. We talked about that movie for 18
Yeah,
minutes.
you should.
Now we're up to never shutting up. So.
Yeah.
Listen, it's got some.
I'm kinda sad that
soundtrack
Alex
has
isn't
some
here.
bangers, and it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's got a lot of earworms.
I have forgotten it completely.
You can really see where they came
The
from.
sky
when you see that movie.
is blue.
Stop it.
and I'm
Spadoinkle
really
is an
drunk.
awesome song.
That's kind of where the Matt, your son of a bitch comes from, by the way.
Yes, it comes from the joke in there where he gives him the food and he says, Humphrey, you son of a bitch. Oh, you haven't even eaten it yet. And then he tries a
Fudge
piece and
Packer?
goes, yeah, okay, it's right near that part, yeah.
You would love that movie.
It's a good movie. It's Matt and Trey. How can you dislike?
Come on, guys.
something they
Dose
do?
buses. It's a great joke.
I like basketball. So
Basketball is another great movie.
Pretty decent.
And what was the other one they did with the superhero?
Orgasmo.
Orgasmo.
Oh, yeah.
I love them all.
Like
We got the Pineapple of Peace. We've got Orgasmo and
see,
Chota Boy.
You got to make a bad movie in order to make a good movie. Like you can't just like go in and make a great movie. The
Yeah,
first
Kevin
movie
Smith did. Kevin Smith.
What movie did he make?
All of them
All of his movies
that are
great?
amazing.
Okay,
Have you
I'm
seen
gonna
them all?
say it.
I
Yoga
can't help but
Hosers.
think we're probably a little off track first.
No.
Yoga Hosers is pretty terrible.
I haven't
You're-
seen that.
Terrible.
What were we talking about
Not
before
really,
the
I
ad
love
break?
There was the
Oh,
board
the
games.
shitty movie. Oh, the board
Oh,
games.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's so many.
We have
games. Like,
a
there's
Ouija board that doesn't look like a Ouija board.
And the chess pieces. That
Yeah,
turn
we
into
don't want to
other
be
chess
sued by
pieces.
Parker Brothers, so we've got a weird Ouija board.
Yeah, he
an
blackface.
interesting
He
looking-
totally blackfaces a
A zombie.
In 2019,
Yeah.
he turns a white chess piece black.
I mean, it was definitely like blackface. It was clearly obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was not good.
There's just so much that happens in it. You kind of have to like stop and like, okay. Then there was that part where the lady gets possessed, and then there's that part where there's gremlins, and then there's that part where there's shit monsters, and then there's that part where there's zombies outside. Then there's that part where the guy gets sucked in the ground. Then there's a part with the Grim Reaper. Then there's a part with the old guy and his weird bride, and then there's a part with a weird cat kid. Am I remembering everything? I feel like
Yeah, there's
I'm going on.
No, because you're forgetting about the weird aging thing.
Also,
You're
the,
forgetting about
Asian
the weird
spider
cat.
lady.
The weird cat having a hook hand.
Oh, the werecat's also a really shitty version of Nightcrawler.
He is. He
Yes,
looks like,
he's brown
There's also the
Nightcrawler.
little kid in the hood that runs around too.
Yeah, the little like
With
I
the
don't
Jawa.
know.
the ice
was
pick
the
from
same
Billy.
thing at first.
Is he a goblin? Is that what he's supposed to
He's
be?
a Jawa.
Who knows?
He's a
Who
what?
the fuck
Jawa.
knows? He's a Jawa. That's right. Okay, we'll go with that.
That's
He's there
the
to
best
treat
possible
Green and
description.
toothy.
Which
That's all I know.
okay, the kid's sitting there at the end of the movie, and then that's the end of the kind of credits. Right? No, he's sitting there, and the old guy pops out of the
Yeah,
grave.
the old guy.
and it
hopping
never
out of
explains what's going on between the two.
They don't explain anything that's going on this entire fucking movie.
That's yeah. I mean, that's part of the ride.
You can't follow it. Like
No.
I have sit here alone and watched it with no interruptions
You've got
and
to
tried
stop
to pay
doing
attention.
that. People are starting to worry.
We worried
I
before
get
this.
it. I get it.
I mean, you probably wasted like how long is that movie? An hour and
20 minutes.
Yeah,
he has
say
wasted
close
a
to
good
90 minutes.
He's wasted a good 6 hours of his life watching this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm
But
probably
yet, I cannot get him to watch The Greatest Showman.
I haven't seen it. I can't
I
speak to that.
I have no desire to watch The Greatest
You
Showman.
need to.
I've got plenty of
And he's
musicals
not
as it
seen
is.
Rubber.
I haven't seen that film. I can't speak to its quality.
Oh my god. Maybe I'll.
Oh,
have
I'll
to,
tell you a movie I have
I've seen Rubber.
The Rocketeer.
I have seen Ace Ventura 2.
It's amazing. It's better than the first one.
Simon Callow, who's in it, just a very upper crusty English actor, little stodgy, says
Yeah.
the very expensive Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2 was held to be less enjoyable than its very cheap predecessor.
Well, he's British. What does he know?
Yeah, that's about as British as you can get as a diplomatic comment like that.
I do think the first Ace Ventura was better.
Yeah,
No.
it's God.
Oh, I
You want
think
to move in?
I think the young Ace Ventura was
might
better.
need
You like Fantastic Four, right?
you stop.
Yeah, I like the Roger Corman.
Yeah, exactly,
Fantastic
exactly,
Four.
exactly.
I was
Okay,
gonna say
so
random
we're now
stuff to make
best
everyone
friends,
mad.
and
Okay.
Josh is like
He-
third on the
Roger
list.
A,
Corman
he likes
one.
the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. B, he likes Cannibal the Musical. So C, his opinion on the Ace Ventura movies is not valid because those are both shitty movies.
Listen,
He's a
the
goddamn
Fantastic Four
Ghostbuster.
movies are bad. All of them are bad. The Roger Corman one, at the very least.
It's fantastic.
No.
Thank you for that, Justin. I needed that in my life. It, at the very least, followed the source material
I hate all you.
a bit, whereas the other ones just threw it out the fucking window and
Hey,
who cares?
The first one that they came out with
The one with Chris Evans, garbage.
was not that far off.
Doctor Doom is completely done wrong in every single one of them, except the Roger Corman one. It's the only one where they get close.
So the only one that's so the only problem, the only thing you care about is the Doctor Doom story.
Why would you care about anyone else other than
I don't know.
Doctor
Do you
Doom, the
love Billy
greatest
Zane too?
villain in Marvel Comics history?
What is wrong with you, Magneto?
No, Magneto.
Fact.
Doom does not use doors like peasant, okay? Dr. Doom is the coolest and the best of all the villains in Marvel Cinematic.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you on this. I'm actually going to say the greatest villain is I don't really have a greatest villain right now.
You're just disagreeing to disagree.
No.
Being contrary.
I actually don't like Dr. Doom as a villain.
Green Goblin, who's also a great villain. Because
I'm going to tell you that you're both wrong.
He's played
I don't know what's right, but you're both wrong.
William Dafoe plays the Green Goblin, so at least there's that. And William Dafoe's amazing. Venom's also a great villain. I mean, there are great villains out there, but I can't say Dr. Doom's the best. I mean, I think Magneto's better.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously we're here to discuss Doctor Doom and Fantastic Four.
We get off topic a lot.
Roger Corman one is the best. That's a fact. But
oh wow!
What I will say,
the other ones. What
I will say,
going for over it?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans sucks in those movies.
Michael B. Jordan.
I haven't even seen that one. I didn't give it the time.
I didn't either. I didn't watch the newest.
Worst.
What I will say.
Okay, we're gonna play a game, guys. Are you guys ready to play a game?
Are you writing what are you writing down here?
Playing a game.
What's going on?
All right, we're going to play a game. Sorry.
Okay.
Didn't have my microphone pulled in. All right. So, in order to stop you bickering unnecessarily about the Fantastic Four, which if you want to watch, you can come over anytime, Jacob.
I've seen it.
We should re-record the
But I love you.
I'm not interested in seeing it more than once. I mean, it's not like it's a great movie. It's just that it does a better job with the property than any of the others.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I like part of the movie. Oh, the only part I really don't like about it is that it's so unwatchable in some parts that our episode about it will never, ever air.
It should totally air.
Yeah.
It's
we recorded an entire episode about it, and yeah, it's...
And then he brought me down and made me watch another shitty Fantastic Four movie, and I walked down on him. I was done.
I can't say I blame you. All the other ones are walk-outable. That one is at least you can get to the end of it. You might take a nap during the middle of it, or I might have. But,
was that the one I did try to fall asleep in? That might have been one. I did fall asleep during one of the movies.
I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep during this movie that we watched tonight.
Well, you had a great crowd of people around you.
Fall asleep. It's too...
The thing about this movie was...
It's too what the fuck.
You think about how low budget it is and just how great it is at the same time. Like,
yeah.
You know, we like some movies actually get a budget, you know, like any of the Marvel movies, they get a budget and they can make them great. And they still like crap, like Spider-Man 3.
Like Roger Corman's Fantastic Four had $1 million budget and still turned out like shit.
Yeah.
They only made that movie to hold on to the rights.
And so what I'm saying is, this movie, if it had $1 million, just think how great it would actually have been.
I mean, I'm just going to say that Kevin Smith made Clerks on a much smaller budget, and it looked amazing.
It was black and white. It's not hard to make.
I'm not going to argue against Clerks. Clerks is unimpeachable. It's a great movie.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, what's this game?
Right. So the game we're going to play tonight, easy, higher or lower.
Higher or lower is my favorite game.
I've picked a few movies out of Box Office Mojo's horror comedy category.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give you two movies.
Yes.
And you can tell me which one made more gross, all converted to 2019 dollars. So you have to take into account when it came out, that sort of thing. And we'll see which one of you guys knows more about the genre and money making.
My money's on Bartlett.
All right, so...
Oh, no.
Oh, you think so, huh? Okay, so the first movie we have is The Frighteners.
Okay.
And did it make more or less money than Army of Darkness?
Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and say more. I think that more would probably be right just because of Michael J. Fox.
Okay. Frighteners
made more. It's just like all-time money made, or is it just like first release?
It's all-time theater gross.
Theater gross.
Theater gross. So what it made in the theater.
So not like all the things afterwards.
But Army of Darkness was the third one that came out. So,
and I will say, Army of Darkness is a top 10 movie for me. I absolutely adore that film.
It's amazing.
I like it way more than I like Frighteners as well. But
we can all agree upon that Army of Darkness is amazing.
Right.
So, Army of Darkness is perfection.
Like, it's very rare that you get a sequel or rather the third installment of a movie be better than the other two. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at Ace Ventura 3.
It's a different
terrible
movie than the other two.
It was great.
I'm gonna go with. Go with Army of Darkness and more money.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Army of Darkness just because it was the third one that came out and it had a cult following.
In the 36th place is The Frighteners. Army of Darkness was 41st.
Oh, he was right.
So Jacob's right.
The Michael J. Fox thing was what it was.
All right.
All right. Next up. Okay, here we go. We're getting into your kind of movie.
I'd only
here.
seen one of those two movies.
We've got Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
Or Scary Movie.
Oh, you know
Oh
what?
my gosh.
Probably Scary Movie, and that kills me to say that, but I'm guessing that it was because it was a big phenomenon.
And
Scary
Anna
Movie was
Faris.
actually a very,
And-
very big hit.
I hate that movie, but the Ghostbusters 2, as much as I love it, I am
gonna
one
say,
of those people
yeah.
who love it.
One of these
I do
movies
too.
is held up.
By the
I'm
way,
not gonna
also
say
love
which.
Ghostbusters 2.
Well, see, now we have some common ground.
We also loved Army of Darkness together.
That's true. That's true.
So you guys
So-
like you guys like the sequels together. See, that's a reoccurring.
I mean, Ace Ventura 2 is better than Ace Ventura 1. So
Oh, no. You're a real white devil.
Son of the Mask 2 was better than the Mask 1.
oh god, stop it.
Okay, so Josh, Ghostbusters 2 or Scary Movie?
Translated into $2019, I'm gonna go with Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Scary Movie just because of Anna Faris. And
The
comedy.
answer is Scary Movie. Scary
I know.
Movie.
I suck at these games.
I know that it was huge.
They are
Right.
they are
Right.
third.
It was the
and
first
fourth
spoof.
place.
It was
They're third and fourth place,
It was
they were
the
pretty
first
close.
spoofs that came out.
Big spoof movies before they were all terrible, and even
The
that one was
first
terrible,
spoof that
but-
came out, are you really gonna
Well,
go
like
there?
the first like horror spoof.
It was
that
no,
was like
I think he's talking
well,
about from
like-
like those
right,
that
right,
group
right,
of
right.
people that
That,
did
like,
those.
Well,
that did
like,
the, like
well, there was Saturday the 14th that came out like way
Yeah,
back
yeah.
when. No, very few people know about that
when
movie.
they started the like genre movie thing, where it was
Right.
like superhero movie and teen movie,
and it was
or
like
whatever.
obviously blatantly going to make fun of everything.
Yeah,
so
and they're all terrible. I actually
Okay,
hate
what's the
all
next
those.
one?
Okay,
They're so
well,
lazy.
we're gonna go the cult route with the next one. Cult movies.
I've probably not seen it.
Bubba Hotep, which is amazing,
I haven't seen it.
and Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is also
have
amazing.
seen that.
So, which one grossed more?
Boy, that's like the toughest one.
Yeah.
because I
I
haven't
picked
seen
them that way.
either of these movies, and
You haven't seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
no, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
You got to watch them.
there's
both.
two of those, isn't there?
I know a place you can come and watch either of those movies.
That said,
anytime.
I have heard of Bubba Hotep, and I have not heard of the other one, so I'll go with Bubba Hotep on that.
Okay.
Why do you keep trying to lure Jacob back into your basement?
Because I have a soundproof room.
Very
and
easy to get me down here. You get
Yeah.
a pizza, and I'm probably going to just.
Because there's
we've got
ghosts.
food and booze in a soundproof room, and what else do you need? It puts the lotion on its skin, whatever.
I'm gonna go with Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
I'm also
Justin?
going with Tucker and Dale because I'd never heard of the other one. So
The answer is Bubba Hotep.
Mike
Bubba
was
Hotep
also
comes in at
wrong.
73, Tucker and Dale at 85.
Wow.
Jacob is running away with
Well, I
this.
think that Tucker and Dale kind of got a more of a cult following once it
Yeah,
hit
I was going to say,
Netflix.
both of those movies got a lot more views on.
Same with like Army of
disc.
Darkness. I think it got more of a cult following afterwards.
All right. Okay. Let's go with Arachnophobia,
Oh, that's a good one.
which was a big movie,
Saw that in theaters.
and Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh,
Another big
wow.
movie.
Because Arachnophobia, like, I feel like.
That was a huge movie when
It was
came
a
out.
huge movie, but
Yeah.
it was like a huge horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
And like they don't really hit the same peaks.
Yeah, but
And
that was
Answer
during the time
Call
of drive-in
did
theaters.
Okay. It did okay. It didn't do great.
yeah, I think that's why they stopped with that.
But
one was,
Answer the Call also didn't get to come out in China because there's weird rules in China about ghosts.
Wow. Oh, well, yeah, that's why their Haunted Mansion is so different in Shanghai. But that's.
I will probably. I'm gonna Arachnophobia. I guess I want to say Answer the Call because I adore it, but
Jacob with Arachnophobia?
I have to agree with Jacob on this one. I think Arachnophobia as well.
Arachnophobia?
Arachnophobia.
It's a sweet.
Oh, Arachnophobia comes in at number 9. Ghostbusters 2016 comes in at number 6.
oh wow,
Wow.
Nobody gets any
Well,
points.
congratulations to Paul and the girls.
Just two
Yeah.
steps behind Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
What's number one? on this
I was bound
list?
to be wrong once. Maybe I was a trap to like get you guys to agree with me on one, and then you know.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll go with a recent movie and one from I don't want to say way back when because I was still alive, but we'll go with Cabin in the Woods versus Teen Wolf.
Oh,
Another Michael J. Fox
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox is a.
I'm gonna-
with a guy with his penis out in the beginning of the movie.
Well,
You know, I'm gonna back Michael J. Fox on this one because I feel like Cabin in the Woods was a real sleeper.
Yeah,
Or, like,
yeah.
a real
I think it
sleeper
cult
hit.
followed afterwards too.
Yeah, like
I don't
that
think
was
they
a movie
marketed
you saw
it very
on
well.
DVD. Yeah. Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know what it was about until after it came out on disc.
I'm gonna
I-
go with the J. Fox movie too.
I'll say this about Cabin in the Woods: I'm so happy that nobody told me what it was about until
Yeah,
I saw
exactly.
it.
When I saw
Yeah,
it,
And
I
I
was
got
like,
to
"It's
have
incredible."
that purity of that moment when you
Yeah.
realize what is going on in that
Yeah.
movie because it's
It's a
so
fantastic.
good.
I will not spoil this one.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a good
fantastic
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
You should watch it. I don't even like horror movies. You should watch this movie.
It's phenomenal.
But I'm going with Teen Wolf as well.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna be wrong.
I'm just gonna go with the opposite side of them because I disagree with on everything they say. So let's go with Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, so Cabin in the Woods comes in at 24, And Teen Wolf comes in at number 15.
Hooray.
So
I got a point.
That's right. You're on the board, Josh.
Yay.
Sorry, Justin.
I love you.
I just can't agree with them on anything. So
we'll go with a couple of 80s movies now. The Monster Squad. You guys familiar with it?
I've seen the Monster Squad. I didn't see it until last year.
The Wolfman's got nards.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yep. And the completely forgotten almost Jim Carrey vehicle, Once Bitten.
Wow.
Of two movies that if you told me were never in the theater at all, I would have gone, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw the Monster Squad in the theater. I never heard of Once Bitten until it started playing on Comedy Central like every day.
Oh, yeah, it was one of those. Yeah. Boy, Ghostbusters 2 got to be one of those for a while.
Kind of like Rubberface.
And you were like, oh my God, it's Jim Carrey.
I'm going to go with Monster Squad because I think that it's a better pick all around. I like Monster Squad. It was a fun movie, and I really, again, like the Jim Carrey one, like I don't even think that it came out in theaters. I think that it just started playing on Comedy Central one day. I think it appeared out of the ether like a Nosferatu.
Yeah, it was like every damn day in the
Nobody
late
knew
90s
that it was even made.
I've not seen either one of these movies, so I'm just going to agree with Jacob because he seems to know more about stuff than I do.
Monster Squad is so of its time. It is. Yeah. It is. I would love to see like a modern day remake of it or something. Like,
cool. Don't say that on the podcast. Someone might actually do it.
They will.
I'm going to see a remake.
It's going to be like
this crap.
We're going to use the modern monsters.
That's right. Well, 7 billion people minus one.
Oh yeah, -1.
Look, remake is not a dirty word. Some movies have been remade and they're just fine. It's just that
Jungle Book was really good.
It is really good.
I do have to mention this movie that we watched tonight was actually completely off my radar. It was suggested by some viewers. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, viewers.
Yeah.
For the exploding Grim Reaper.
Yeah, you've ruined some lives.
I needed that in my life.
So what is your pick on this?
This is definitely going to be Monster Squad. Like, if you said Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Monster Squad, I would have probably said Buffy, but...
All three of you going with the Monster Squad?
Yeah, we're all wrong.
Monster Squad comes in at 59. Once Bitten comes in at 40. I had no idea.
Those are low. I mean, they're down the list.
Yeah, but I can't believe I hadn't heard of Once Bitten when it was in theaters. Anyhow.
Monster Squad has gotten to stand the test of time, though, because nobody gives a shit about Once Bitten anymore. Monster Squad, people are still talking about.
You say Jim Carrey, everybody thinks like The Mask or
nards,
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Too.
When did that come out in his career? Was that like...
it was really...
Was he still on In Living Color at the time?
It was before In Living Color.
Oh, okay.
You were the only guest I've asked to come back.
What was his sitcom? The Duck Soup? I don't know.
Well, except Liz. I love Liz.
The Duck Factory. Yeah, that's
you know what? I'm happy to be wrong to say Jim Carrey was not as good as Monster Squad because that's just how I feel about life. You know?
Okay, well, there you go.
But Jim Carrey was amazing in Eternal Sunshine.
Got three more.
Okay.
Next one up is Gremlins 2.
Ooh.
The new batch. Versus Little Shop of Horrors. A lot of puppetry in those movies. That's right. I picked them to be difficult.
Oh, but you know what? I'm picking Little Shop of Horrors. Are you talking about the Rick Moranis one?
Yeah, we're talking about Frank Oz.
Oh, because I adore that movie. You know, that's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I love that movie.
And it's fantastic.
I'm going Gremlins 2 on this one.
You're going Gremlins 2. Okay. So you went with Little Shop of Horrors, right?
I went Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2. The answer is Little Shop of Horrors.
It's all about that.
I think this game is rigged. I think Mike is signaling.
I think 14.
Rick Moranis was in it, so I could have went that way. But Gremlins 2,
that was. Do you know that was Bill Murray's first acting job after Ghostbusters with Little Shop of Horrors? Because he went and lived in Paris for a couple of years because he hated fame. He hated the level of fame that Ghostbusters got him.
Oh wow!
So he just went and lived in Paris and just chilled for a while.
Well, because he wanted to make the Razor's Edge, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why he made Ghostbusters. That's why he agreed to do it in the first place, and it bombed, and that put him in a real bad depression.
It's not good.
Razor's Edge.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it one of these days.
All right, next one.
Okay. I have to shout out the New Zealand film industry, so we're going to go with a little movie you've probably never seen, but is really fun, called Black Sheep.
Are you talking about the movie with
Chris Farley and
not
David
the Chris
Spade?
Farley one. This one's actually about zombie lab-created human sheep hybrids.
It's New Zealand. I'd watch it.
It's
I wish
it's
we were
a
talking about the
horror
Chris Farley movie.
comedy. It's really funny. Or the movie Rubber.
There it is.
At length tonight.
You guys go first. I've not seen either of these.
I'm going to go with Rubber on this one.
Tell you what, there's less than $2,000 separating these movies.
I'm going with Rubber.
I'm going to go with Black Sheep.
Okay, I have to agree with one of the two of you. I'm going to have to stick with Justin Patton here, my good buddy and associate. And and say, which one did you say?
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep. That was my vote wholeheartedly.
All right. Well, Black Sheep comes in at 96. Rubber comes in at 95.
Yay!
Why did you say yay?
I won.
No, you didn't.
95 is higher than 96.
Yours was 95.
And you want the lower number.
Oh, wait. I thought you said that we were going for the one that made the most.
Yeah.
95 made more than 96.
Okay, I thought we were talking about like thousands of dollars that were made.
Rubber made $1,800
My bad. I'm a
more than Black
confused
Sheep.
person. Edit out my stupidity.
And to finish this up tonight in the game, although it's not even close.
What's scored?
We're going to go with Gremlins. Huge movie.
Yes.
Favorite Christmas movie.
And a little thing you may have heard of. I don't know. Is it based on the 1975 Filmation TV series? You may have heard of it. It's called Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Ghostbusters, obviously. I mean, it was,
Gremlins or Ghostbusters? Come on, Josh. And just be careful. You know who you're sitting between.
These are probably 1 and 2, aren't they?
They are, in fact, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I knew they would be. This is difficult because those were both big blockbusters back in the 80s.
But Gremlins
the fact
2
that this
lost.
is difficult speaks volumes about you.
Gremlins 2
bit the
lost.
dust on it, man. It's Ghostbusters.
I'll go with
Ghostbusters all the way. Just say Ghostbusters.
Fine, I'll go with Ghostbusters.
That's right. Ghostbusters, number 1 horror comedy of all time.
Yeah.
More than
even though it's a documentary about our bosses.
100 million ahead of second place in today's dollars.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, it keeps getting re-released too. I mean, just about every year or so.
Every year.
Theater monies.
Gremlins, also a weird Christmas movie.
It is.
You know what?
We've watched a lot of weird Christmas movies like Jaws the Revenge.
Yeah, Jaws the Revenge, the greatest holiday movie of all time.
It's Die Hard.
You guys are not going to like me. I've never seen Gremlins.
Okay, so I know what we're doing after we're done recording.
I'm going to go home and go to sleep.
Yeah,
Same.
I
You know, this is our busy season.
I'll have my wife carry me up the stairs.
They've got a lot of ghosts
stow
to
me
bust.
away.
It's true. We have so many, and we just told everyone else that on staff they have to deal with it while we come record a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, Alex got called away on an emergency Ghostbusters.
He did. It was an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
He had
have
to go
a,
stab some ghosts.
I don't have a notes dump tonight. We're all
Good.
through with everything I had.
Well,
so
you
any more
didn't tally up the
reflections?
scores from the game here.
Oh, well, you know, Jacob, you ran away with it.
I
You
just
won.
want to hear it said out loud.
1,
really.
2, 3, 4, 5. You won 6-3-1.
I was in last place. Heck yeah.
No, you weren't.
I was second
yes,
place.
you totally were.
I was second place.
I'm being nice to the guests.
out of 3, that's not really that great either.
Hey.
But you all
That's
three
like saying I got a
counted
bronze
right.
medal.
That's right. In the last one.
I got a silver medal out of 3.
Yeah, that's like a
Well,
participation
if you're not
trophy.
first, you're last. I mean, that's just how it is. You know.
That's what I tell. Nope.
All right. So, where can we find you guys on social media? Anything you want to plug?
Let us know.
Anything you want to?
Well, if you want to find us, the fastest way, of course, is to call 317-983-2368. That's our phone number, the hotline. You'll get a message there from us, or we'll answer the phone. It kind of just depends on how busy we are that day. Of course, you can find us on Facebook if you search for Circle City Ghostbusters, or if you go to ccghostbusters.com, that'll take you right to our Facebook page. We're on Twitter at @CCGhostbusters, and we are on Instagram at Circle City Ghostbusters.
All right. And Jacob, what would you rate this movie out of 10?
Out of 10, I would give this movie probably like an F out of 10.
An F out of 10.
F out of 10, I think, is what I
We're
would
going to
give
need a
it.
numerical value on this.
It's a variable.
Okay.
It's it's an algebra thing.
I'm going to go with 0.5 stars. 0.5 stars.
So I'm gonna go off the budget for one thing.
You loved this movie, didn't you?
He's put a lot of thought into this.
You gotta think, I like to make films for a living, so and I like to rate films. So I'm going off their budget for what they had, and the fact that some guy went bipolar at halfway through the film and decided, F this movie. I'm gonna give it like a 6, actually.
A 6?
Wow.
A 6.
Wow.
6 out of 10.
I knew it.
It's not the worst movie I've ever watched, and it's not the
That's
greatest.
amazing.
It's not the worst movie I've ever watched either.
Take
That
an
honor
edit
goes
real
to
quick. Tony's gonna have to
Adventureland.
edit that track out in the background
Wow.
of
I'm
a
gonna eat there
Liz
for that one.
snoring.
Look, Adventureland sucks. There's no adventures. There's no land. I don't know why they called it that.
That's because it's an amusement park.
All right,
a
Matt, what are
shitty
you
amusement
going to
park.
go ahead and rate this movie?
I am going to give this movie a 3 out of 10.
Good job.
4 points of which come from the effects.
Yeah, the effects were actually good. That's also
Negative
what I
1
was.
to begin with.
Yeah,
The Spider Woman.
They were
This movie is a
decent.
terrible movie. And it's not the fault of the original filmmakers. It's the fault of everything that came after. Without it, it would have been just your average crappy 80s horror movie.
It was a funny film.
But because of the fact that it became
moments,
such a train wreck, it became legend, and here we are. We're all
This movie was
talking about it in the
much
basement.
more enjoyable with the company than it was by myself.
I
can honestly
sure
say
of that.
Okay. All right.
We didn't even talk about how the effects, how they would do the crappy animation on some of the
Go ahead. Just remember, the guy that did the animation actually went on to have a big career in Hollywood. So
He did.
I guess he had to start somewhere.
he lit up.
I hope he hears this podcast.
The outside of the
Let's pick a fight with
he
me
might.
or something.
I do have to say, this movie has like a Facebook fan group that is
I don't accept
absolutely
that.
rabid about this movie, and people involved with this movie are in and answer any questions you might have.
That's incredible.
They are actually interactive with the fans.
New goal.
So
find the
it's
Facebook
pretty
fan
cool.
group, troll the shit out of it.
Yeah, if you got to do that, I mean,
and Muckman will come out of your toilet
yeah,
and eat
so.
you.
making
There's a
that
great
fart
oral
noise.
history by the
God.
Dissolve.
They can't come out of my toilet, bro. The water kills them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Water kills
That's
the turd monsters.
Yeah, so if you've got
Some kind of
farting
a-
demons coming out of the walls in your basement, just throw some water or wine on them.
Get a bidet. That's all you got to do. Takes care of it all.
Get a bidet.
You got anything you want to plug, Justin? No?
I'm
Okay.
good. Well, it's your film. Your
Just
film
the same
stuff
old
or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, my film stuff.
Yeah, anything you
your
want,
film
man.
stuff.
Talk with everybody.
Well,
bro.
you know,
What
we're
you're
not
here
going to go
for.
into my films because if you think this movie's horrible, you should watch my movies.
You're gonna love
no,
it.
I bet your movies are
You're
dry.
going to love it.
You have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay.
So how
We-
would
we
one
keep my
go about
movies-
finding your movies?
I want to
Very
watch them.
very private screenings.
I really want to watch. Unless,
Ooh, I
unless
kind of
it's
want to watch
weird.
your private movies.
Weird. Is it on Pornhub? Be honest. Okay. Just making
Well,
sure.
you
I heard
know,
recently that Pornhub's
me and
gonna-
Ron Jeremy
gonna
are good friends.
Plant a tree for every 100 videos watched. So
Ron
get
Jeremy
to going,
and
guys.
Ghostbusters. That's
All right. So, well, we had very few takers on our Mazes and Monsters DVD, although I was finally able to get rid of it. Snow White was a little easier to get rid of, I guess, because
Of
it was on
course.
Blu-ray. And this week, we've got a movie people actually want to watch to give away. We're giving away a Blu-ray of Ghostbusters, the 1984 version.
I haven't
Wow.
seen it. What is that any good?
It's based on the 1975.
Wasn't that your
thing
training
with the
video
gorilla
for
and-
getting into the
documentary.
Ghostbusters Academy?
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Oh yeah, okay, the one about the bosses. Right. okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
training
you would
video.
like
I haven't seen it.
a copy of Ghostbusters on Blu-ray, go ahead, tweet at us, tell us why you want it, and odds are you'll get it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Is it a
That
steel
easy.
book?
It's that easy. It's
Not a lot of
easy.
people tweet at us.
Is
You
it a
should do
steel
some more
book with
tweeting.
artwork?
So as always, Matt, you're a son of a bitch, but I'm glad that you invited the Circle City Ghostbusters down here. It made this much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I love you, Ghostbusters.
Thank you for having us. It was a real pleasure.
Oh, believe me, the pleasure's all mine.
And as always, I love you, Matt.
I love you, Josh.
And those stains on your sheet weren't PKE readings.
No, but it will be $10,000 for our services tonight.
Do you take checks?
Well, we charge by the hour, and you guys have kept us here for quite a bit. And yes, we do take checks.
Do you take Monopoly money?
We'll talk about it. Off.
Okay. Well, looks like I'll be doing some dishes for a while. So
All right.
next month,
Okay.
we've got another
Love you,
good one
Matt.
for you. All right. Love you, Josh.
Bye.
This episode of You're Gonna Love This or Not was recorded at the SFP Studios, located off of beautiful Eagle Creek Reservoir in Indianapolis, Indiana. It features Matt dragging Josh down into the dark depths of his movie collection and is released monthly on the Team Geeking family of podcasts. It is produced by Mike Wycliffe, edited by Tony Troxel, and features music by Scott Holmes, who can be found on the Free Music Archive. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or the podcatcher of your choice, and please leave us a rating and review. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.